Deadlock is Valve's big MOBA shooter that is still in its early stages. All the heroes and items in this popular new game are constantly changing with each update due to active development. Well, that doesn't stop us players from enjoying the game and looking for the best Deadlock heroes. So, in this guide, we have ranked all the heroes in a Deadlock so that you know which character to pick for your next victory. Number 22, Lady Geist, another situational hero who never comes online, at least for me, is Lady Geist. You will deal a lot of damage throughout the game. The issue with Lady Geist is her ability kit in Deadlock. All of her abilities are about dealing a lot of damage. This makes her a one-dimensional character with zero possibility to deal with her endless counters. Number 21, Yamato. The biggest fall-off for any character ever from updates was when the devs casually nerfed Yamato from existence. Yamato is a great jungler and probably the best in the jungle in Deadlock. However, his signature was how he could sustain damage while being in the ultimate by nerfing the ultimate. The devs killed how Yamato could fight off multiple enemies at once. We must not forget that Yamato was not a great objective taker in the first place either. Number 20, Kelvin, the ally from the North packs an icy punch or even protects teammates at ease. However, with the melee nerfs, you would have wanted to go spirit build with Kelvin, but hold up, the developers also nerfed his spirit damage, scaling for the Arctic beam, and also lowered the healing on the E. Grenade, despite that Kelvin is a support first hero who's a great pincher at lane while being a great counter attacker thanks to his ultimate, especially when you get to delay enemies from getting the rejuvenator. Number 19, Warden. Warden is a great tank character in Deadlock who can fight against multiple heroes. His key ability is to lock down enemies and steal their life away. However, there are too many counter items and heroes to deal with Warden, so sometimes you will notice Warden feeling lackluster even after doing everything right with him. Number 18, Shiv. After weeks of Shiv saying hold my knives and the Deadlock community being in fear of that bleed effect sound, developers finally listened. Even my editor, who's a MOBA newbie, could rack up kills quickly with Shiv, so to solve it, Deadlock devs have now balanced how Shiv's rage mechanics work. You can no longer keep building it up without being more proactive. Moreover, Shiv no longer feels unstoppable as he needs to play around his kit more patiently instead of spamming all the abilities. Number 17, Lash. For the amount of difficulty level, Lash does not give enough output in a movement-based game like Deadlock. Lash used to outshine other heroes, however, he feels like an initiator who needs good teammates to shine. This makes Lash restrictive, and in most of the games you feel like a catalyst to the better heroes in your team. Number 16, Viscus. Speaking of healing supports, Viscus is more aggressive than any other healers in the game. His skill set is made for the initiator type players. You can roll and spit or even punch enemies towards your team, but the best part is how you can heal yourself or teammates roll away or punch yourself away from a critical situation as well. Sadly, when you heal someone, they are stuck in that place being unable to do anything. However, if you choose the right items in your Deadlock build, you can create quite the frenzy goo ball that can hose down any enemy. Just make sure you do not rely much on the punch build, as Melis Viscus is quite nerfed in this patch. Number 15, Mirage. Added with the big September patch, Mirage has been a key initiator and ganker in Deadlock. While his highlight ability is the passive, his attack animation and slow fire rate do not complement it. On the other hand, playing him as a support or ganker feels more reliable. This makes him a confusing character to pick as his roles don't really suit how his ability kit is built. Number 14, Krill. While Krill are not the best objective takers out there, their involvement in team fights is huge. With a great disarming ability and the skill to hide from enemies, Krill can take the fight on their own terms. However, the best part of this hero duo is the ultimate ability. Having the skill to hold down enemies while dealing damage for a solid amount of time can change the course of the game, especially if it's a crucial enemy hero. Number 13, Bebop. After rewinding some changes, the developers somewhat balance bomb Bebop. While his kit still looks exciting, you will feel limited once you try Bebop. Luckily, you no longer lose bomb stacks. This makes you good as long as you keep contributing to the team fights if you are putting bombs at the right time. Finishing enemies off with your ults or out positioning them with your hook Bebop can be fun and valuable in any rank lobby. Number 12, 7. 7 is the ultimate pub stomper. Yes, if you know how to spam abilities, you can easily clean up newbie lobbies. While for a long time he was pretty weak in higher lobbies, with the latest buffs to his Stormcloud, 7 can easily contribute massively to the team fights. This added to the insane buff in spirit items makes him too good for any lobby. Just make sure you are keeping your abilities saved for the right moments. Number 11, Great Talon. If you ask any Great Talon mains, they were absolutely devastated by the early changes made to his survivability. Being a squishy caster, already his only way out was the movement speed that would scale with spirit power. With that change reverted back, Great Talon is now extremely hard to catch. While from a distance he can kill you just with his charged shots. His stamina, while in the rain of arrows, is also increased, which makes Great Talon annoying from the first second of the game. Number 10, Wraith. If you are looking for an all-rounder with huge objective potential, then Wraith is the best. She can deal massive nuke damage throughout the game. While damage is better for single target enemies, mostly she is capable of fighting against a bunch of enemies. However, she outshines most heroes in terms of eating down the objectives thanks to her fire rate and ammo. Not only that, as she also can combine this with her teleport to never get caught after being a rat and taking down objectives like a piece of cake. Number 9, Abrams. When Valve puts a hero on the home screen, oh, take the hint that it means something, and it did indeed. Abrams was possibly the strongest tank among the entire Deadlock characters roster well until the developers thought to nerf melee damage in the game, although he is still strong. Abrams drops from S tier due to his terrible damage scaling now that almost every other item has a melee resist in them. However, he still remains in a tier due to how annoying and monstrous he is in the early and mid game. The fun part of playing Abrams is that you do not even need lifesteal vitality items to sustain fights. Number 8, Haze was the strongest hyper carry in Deadlock, unless Vindicta got a Giga buff. However, if you can babysit your Haze and feed her, there are items that can make her unstoppable with a great ultimate ability to spray down enemies. And invisibility ability, Haze already is strong, just ask my editor who I work with to feed Haze souls to make her grow in power quickly. However, she comes with a sleeping dagger that can shut down enemies, making them useless for a few seconds. This combination of attack and item usability makes Haze great, especially an ideal late game carry, especially when her passive scales with the buff spirit items now. Number 7, Ivy. If you go through all the heroes in Deadlock, Ivy is the most underrated. Her ability to dominate the lane using the brambles can guarantee a significant soul count in case you are the aggressive type. You can push in with the stun and retreat while healing your teammate. Moreover, you can pick your teammates and drop them anywhere you want. Using this tactic, you can deliver the soul earn easily, or even help your team 7 or Bebop secure kills with their ultimate ability, making her rank high on our Deadlock tier list. Number 6, Infernus, recommended for beginners, used by veterans. That is Infernus in Deadlock for you. There are 2 reasons why Infernus is better than all the other heroes below him right now. The first reason is that as Infernus, you deal damage even after not hitting your enemies thanks to burn damage from your abilities, especially the passive. The second reason is that you keep healing from all the burn damage you are dealing to the enemies. These things make Infernus the most annoying hero to deal with at any rank level in Deadlock. Number 5, McGinnis has the highest base ammo capacity in Deadlock, which makes her a great laner. She also comes with a heal, which can be great in the laning stage. Yes, that was pretty much it, but with the massive buffs to her turrets, it is now a whole different story in almost every other game you will find a McGinnis on your enemy team who spams the wall and turrets, and all you can do is dash around and get killed by those pesky little boss. One thing is for sure, that you will be confused about what to do first, kill McGinnis or her turrets. Number 4, Vindicta. The October 10th Deadlock patch killed every possible way to dominate as Vindicta. Yeah, that's how it was for the true sniper of Deadlock until developers finally flipped the coin with the latest changes. Vindicta is now too strong to be true. Her movement is insanely buffed while in the air, which makes her a hard target in teamfights. Moreover, she has more duration in flight, along with a massive damage gain per boon. On top of these massive buffs, spirit power increases your fire rate as Vindicta, which scales heavily in the late game, making her the strongest hyper carry in the game. Number 3, Paradox. Paradox comes with a great skill set where you are able to slow down enemies constantly while dealing spirit damage. On the right hand, Paradox feels untouchable. Most importantly, no one is untouchable when you swap them towards you using your ability. Moreover, you block down enemy bullets in fights that can change the entire course of the game in a blink. These abilities were already enough to keep Paradox in a valuable category in the game, but the developers had to push the gear harder. And with that, Paradox Time Bomb now gets huge with insane tick damage, while the other spirit item buffs help her almost one-shot enemies. Number 2, Dynamo Professor, also known as Dynamo, is the best initiator in Deadlock. Even if you are not great at farming or killing enemies, you still add a lot of value to your team. Dynamo can stun, he can clean, and he can definitely control an entire team at once if you combine your ultimate with your teammates' abilities in the right way. Victory is guaranteed. Oh, you can also save your teammates from deadly situations by turning into a quantum ball. Number 1, Pocket. While fighting Pocket, you will feel like punching the air. That is how I always feel against a Pocket in Deadlock. Whether it is winning teamfights 1v1s or objectives, Pocket can do it all. This Deadlock hero comes with massive spirit damage while having the best mobility. Once you've mastered advanced movements, Pocket can be exceptionally unkillable. All of that while your AoE ultimate drains enemy HP faster than they can last in fights. With spirit items being stronger, Pocket is stronger than ever. What did you think about our Deadlock heroes ranking list? Which Deadlock character would you rank higher and why? Tell us in the comments below.